Islam actually. He's one of the people who give us lots of wisdom. And in his age, like he's a figure in Islamic history that nobody could deny. Actually, one of the great companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are talking about Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. And Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari actually was one of those who came early to Islam. So some people said he is one of the first 20 who entered to Islam. Some people would say he is one of 8 people, the first 8 people entered to Islam. Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari. His name is Abu Dharr Jundub ibn Junada al-Ghifari. He is from a tribe called Tribe of Ghifar. And Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari actually, he narrated lots of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He narrated almost 281 hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He used to stay with Rasulullah too much. And he used to learn a lot from him sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he migrated from Mecca to Medina with Rasulullah. So he was Mecca. He migrated and he faced a lot of persecution at the beginning of the da'wah. And he called his Islam in public. Means he didn't hide his Islam too much. He told everyone that he became a Muslim. And he faced lots of problems because of his Islam. And he sacrificed this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, no matter what I have faced, I will sacrifice everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari is actually one of the people that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to love. And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he honored him. He looked at him with dignity, with honor, with respect, too much respect to Abu Dharr al-Ghifari radiallahu anhu. And Sayyidina Abu Dharr actually, he lived long life. He died at the year of 30 or 31, based on the narration, 31 Hijri. He lived like the whole life with Rasulullah. Then Sayyidina Abu Bakr, then Sayyidina Umar, then he died on the Khilafah of Sayyidina Uthman. The year of 30 Hijri or 31 Hijri. And subhanallah, Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, lots of situations with him, with Rasulullah, and leading the ummah, guiding the Sahaba, teaching them Quran, spreading Islam. But there is a situation just for the sake of the time, I will mention. And that means I mentioned this because of when we talked in the hall before iftar about, being to humble yourself down. There is a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man tawada'a lillah. One more time. Man tawada'a lillah rafa'a. Whoever puts himself down for Allah, Allah will raise his status. Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, at the early days of da'wah, early days of Islam, they're still learning. They're still learning. You know Bilal ibn Rabah? Who knows Bilal? Whose name here is Bilal? Nobody Bilal? We wanted to have like a young baby, Bilal. So see, inshallah, who is about to get a baby. So consider that name, inshallah. Bilal. That's a good name, mashallah. Okay, Bilal ibn Rabah al-Habashi. He had a conflict. Let's say a fight with Abu Dharr al-Ghifari at the early days of Islam. So Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, said a bad word. Not like nowadays bad word. But that time was a bad word. He said, Ya bin as-Sawda. He said to Abu Dharr, he said to Bilal, Ya bin as-Sawda. Oh, the son of a black mother. We call it nowadays what? Racist, right? Right? He said, oh, son of a black mother. So he was insulting him actually. So Bilal ibn Rabah got upset. and he complained to Rasulullah. Rasulullah called Abu Dhar, called him, come on. Then he said, أَعَيَّرْتَهُ بِأُمِّكَ? Did you mention his mom? He said, yes. He said, يا أبا ذر إنك امرؤ فيك جاهلية. Oh Abu Dhar, you still have traces of the time of ignorance. Ignorance here referring to what? Before Islam, right? It's called the Jahiliyyah. Jahiliyyah, before Islam. In 2024, should we have Jahiliyyah anymore? Do we still have Jahiliyyah? Astaghfirullah. Do you think our Jahiliyyah is worse or their Jahiliyyah were worse? Nowadays is worse. I will not judge. You see, Imam is pushing you, but I will not judge. But you know what? You know what? I'm sorry to tell you this. Nowadays, the Jahiliyyah, in my point of view, had many aspects that became delusion, made people confusion. Like in the past, you have the idol next to the Kaaba. Who is that? He will tell you, this is my God. So it's clear. Nowadays, things got mixed. Halal with haram, like sometimes. And people like mix things up. Like somebody told me today, subhanallah, like they had a lady who passed away. And they said, we need you. I said, why? They said, because we need you to recite Yasin over the food. I said, then. They said, come and take whatever money you want, but come to recite Yasin. I said, that's haram, bid'ah. They said, we have other imams, they are doing so. We do not eat unless they recite on the food. I said, this is haram, this is bid'ah. I said, so what about if I didn't come? They said, no one will be allowed to touch that food. I said, which religion is this? You know what I'm saying? Which religion is this? You know the stone, the marked stone that you put in the grave. So someone gave them fatwa, you are not allowed to put that or even to order this unless you pass, or the one who passed away, pass 1 year. Otherwise, that would be a sign that he will be in the hellfire. Which religion is this? Think about this. So the things became mixed. So he said, إِنَّكَ امْرُؤٌ فِيكَ جَاهِلِيَّةٌ. You still have some traces of the ignorance. Then, you know Abu Dhar, what did he make? That's my evidence. He came to Bilal ibn Rabah and he said, please my brother, forgive me. Forgive me. So Bilal did not respond. You know what did he make? He made something ajib. Amazing. That's why the scholars said, this is the greatest apology in the entire history. He put his cheek on the ground. He put his face, Abu Dhar, he put his face on the ground, on his cheek. And he said, now I want you to step on my face so I can be forgiven. Do something, punish me. Do something to me. Since I made you upset, now you have the right to step on my face. Because I was arrogant. I was racist. I wanted something to do, a compensation for my sin. Step on my face. So what did Bilal say? Bilal said, no, I can't. You are my brother and I forgive you. And they hugged each other. And Rasulullah was there, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then he asked him to forgive him, Bilal forgive him. Look at that way. Nowadays, you know, I don't need to apologize. Brother, say I'm sorry. Say I'm sorry. Like, you know what? Wallahi al-Azim, I see people. You know, when I'm doing family counseling, sometimes I get issues make me to stay at like 11:30 at night to do family counseling. Some cases, the man took the inheritance of his sister and he does not want to give it to her. And after many years, when they come together, he is so arrogant even to say, I'm sorry. I do not want to say so. Why I should say I'm sorry? Subhanallah. You know, one of the scholars said, if people realized where they came from, if people realized where they came from, the original, the sperm, and where they were inside, the wombs, the bellies, and where the delivery happened, and what is inside their stomachs, they will never feel arrogance. يَبْنَ التُّرَابِ وَمَأْكُولَ التُّرَابِ. You are the son of dust, means created out of dust, and you will be turned into dust. You know, the first time I made ghusl in my life, I was in the middle school. The first time I went to do grave, like burial, I was in the middle school. Since that time, I realized that this dunya worth nothing. The whole dunya. Because you see people after being nice, in a good shape, good health, and now they lost everything. So why somebody might feel arrogant? For what? For money you don't own it. For car you will die and leave it. For house you will leave it. So why? Even your muscles. Ask those people. You know, when somebody gets old and his back will become like a half circle? Yes. One day, a young man was mocking an old man. He said, hey, uncle, hey, that's a half circle. How much did you pay for this? He said, do not worry, tomorrow you will get it free. Tomorrow you will get it free. So may Allah guide us to the right path. Jazakumullahu khairan, barakallahu feekum. For those who asked about the Islamic knowledge competition, I think this is the only Imam doing this in Tampa Bay area. He gives the questions ahead. Have you heard about this? Okay, astaghfirullah. So those are 25 questions. If you didn't register, you can still come tomorrow, inshallah. Take your copy, read the questions, prepare the answers, and come tomorrow from 5 to 7. From 5 to 7. The purpose here is your participation. 25 new information. And you might think it's easy. Who was the leader of Aus tribe when he was 31 years old? Okay, who was known by the nickname the woman of the two bells? Who liberated the Masjid al-Aqsa? Who was the first person to recite Quran publicly? Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Yes. Who is known as the master of reciters? Yes, yesterday. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum.